Thank you for coming by Tory Magoo 44. Today is the 7th of February 2018, and we're still here. I love that. Thank you for all of you that have supported me. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. It means a ton. I mean, we've been here for a very, very long time, for 17 years now. That's a long time. Well, we haven't been on YouTube for 17 years, but I've been on the internet for 17 years. YouTube since 2008, thanks to Anonymous. And I will always say that because that's when it started. They gave me my webcam, and I said to Mark Bunker, what am I going to say? And he said, well, let's make a video saying Magoo has a webcam. And that was the beginning of my YouTube site. Okay, thank you to every single person who has been part of this. I really, really appreciate it. And so do many, many other people that are now out. Anyway, this is about Scientology and civil rights. I know I've spoken about it, but I keep speaking about it because more people keep leaving because they see things like this that are just so dramatically, ridiculously awful, that are part of the Church of Scientology. Okay, so civil rights, they're trying to now promote that they are the civil rights defenders of civil rights. Really? The Church of Scientology? I mean, I can think of some people, Martin Luther King, a few people, that you would think, okay, civil rights, yes. But the Church of Scientology, let's just go through a few of the many violations of civil rights that the Church of Scientology does. Okay, number one, and most important to everyone, is they break up families. They intentionally break up families. David Miscavige, who runs the Church of Scientology, intentionally breaks up families. And that's from people who are out, who maybe their marriages were broken up and now they're back together, but they have testified about it and spoken about it again. And they declare someone a suppressive person. Hey, Pete, it's me. If you're still playing your drinking game, you can have a shot. He said every time I show my SP declare, they can have a shot in Ireland. I love the Irish SPs. Anyway, they declare people suppressive, and on that, her only terminal is the IJC, which you cannot get in touch with. I've tried to get in touch with them for 17 years. No go. My hand. It freezes. That's not fair. All right, I'll try to be very dignified and without moving. What that is, please let me know. Okay, so in the meantime, I got to get back to it. Okay, so they break up families. They stop free speech. Now, first of all, let's go back. They'll say, we don't break up families. That's their choice if they don't want to talk to someone. No, that's not true. They actually declare people suppressive if you do, say, look, or read things that they don't want you to do, say, or read. And then no one is allowed to talk to you, or you will lose all of your friends and family. That's how it goes. That's exactly how it goes. So they do break up families. And it's awful. I talk to families all the time who can't talk to their children or they can't talk to their parents. And it's awful. Okay, so there's one. Two, they stop. Scientology asked me, Tory, not the church, Bill Yachty, who worked for the Church of Scientology, run by the Office of Special Affairs, who are part of the Church of Scientology. Under the umbrella of the Church of Scientology is the Office of Special Affairs. And in that little department was my auditor, counselor, and dear friend at the time, Bill Yachty, who said, hey, there's a bunch of really creepy people on the internet. We need to handle it. Would you just go out and see if you can open up one account, kind of an anonymous account, not part of Anonymous. This was 8 years before Anonymous ever showed up. Just a phony account and bring it back to me. And so I said, I guess. I mean, I knew nothing about the internet at the time. I thought, okay, I guess so. I did. It worked. He was like thrilled. So he asked me to open up more. And I opened up more. And he ended up opening up 10 phony accounts from those emails that I got. And from that, I ended up waking up because they got weirder and weirder. And I started looking on the internet. And once I looked, I realized what they were doing. Free speech. Okay, so sorry that froze again. All right, so there you go on free speech. And they say man has the inalienable right to free speech and free thought. right? That I was in a room with a bunch of ministers, my friend who's a minister and a critic, and 3 Scientologists, and the rest were ministers, right? They got 13 minutes to read. He got 13 minutes to ask questions. And that was it. They read their Code of a Scientologist, man has the inalienable right to free speech, free thought, and other stuff. All sounding great. He brought up all the abuses, which I told him they're going to make you sound like an idiot because they'll say you never did any courses, you don't know what you're talking about, which they did. They all said, oh, I don't know anything about that. And I knew all 3 of these people. I knew they were just flat out lying, right? But of course, the ministers don't know. And they're saying, I don't really know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, they compare me to Hitler. Well, Hitler was an SP and Tory's an SP. And I was like in Vegas, bingo, with the coins dropping down. It was just like they couldn't have said anything worse. The ministers were all like, what? And then I said, that's not only false, because they were saying there's only a couple of SPs, Hitler and Tory. I said, you've declared thousands of people suppressive, just like this, with their SP declare. And I said, in fact, I have it, and I passed it around, and that was the end of the party. They were so ticked off. But that's the truth. They can say that man has the inalienable right to free speech, free thought. But the truth is, if you speak with anybody that they don't want you to speak with who's declared suppressive, if you watch any shows that they don't want you to watch, you're sent to ethics. And if you don't do what they say, then you're declared suppressive. That's it. David Miscavige is awful at it. And so, anyway, he declares a lot of people suppressive. And thankfully, we all leave. And there you go. That's why we're out. So good job, Dave. You're really doing great. All right, so that's 1, 2 for civil rights violations. 3 is they rope in young kids to billion-year contracts, which is basically a slave camp. They're saying that you're going to handle planet Earth. No, they're not going to handle planet Earth. If you could have handled planet Earth, you could have handled it in the last 50, what is it? It's 2018. It started in 1950. Okay, that's a lot. That's 50, 60... 8 years, right? 68 years? That's a lot of time to not be able to handle something that you've been promising you're going to handle. So there's that, and it is full-time, and it's $35 a week. Maybe it's $50 now, but it's nothing. You can't leave. They say you can. You can leave anytime you want. No, you can't. You can't. They'll send people after you. I've talked to many, many people where they've sent them after them. Okay, they were after me, and I was a public. I wasn't even Sea Org, and they came after me, stopped my van. The plane was canceled at the airport. I walked in, LAX. There's the vice president. We know where you're going. You're not going there, Tory. Really? They chased me all the way across the country. I get out across the country in Tampa thinking, okay, it's 1:45 in the morning. They're not going to be here. Wrong. They were all there. Tampa police and my 3 friends, Stacy, Bob, and Jesse. Really intense. So anyway, you cannot just leave any time. Okay, there you go on that. The 4th one, let's see, the free speech, fair game. L. Ron Hubbard said you can lie, cheat, steal, destroy someone utterly. Google fair game in Scientology. There's tons of examples of where they have fair game me and other people. It's awful. So they do practice it. They have a cancellation of the term fair game. That's all. And at the bottom it says this does not apply to suppressive people, which are the only people that they would fair game anyway. So there you go. And the other one I mentioned about the kids, and the last one is medical abuse for me that are huge civil rights violations. Those are medical abuses that they do, and they have on me, and there are awful effects from it. So, and I've watched other people too, and many, many people in Scientology die because of their medical abuses. And the implication that you should be able to handle anything by yourself. I mean, if it wasn't for my mom stepping in and saying, they're going to kill you, either get on your medication or I'm flying from Chicago to LA, and believe me on this story, L. Ron Hubbard and the Church of Scientology will never forget your mother. And I know you guys have heard this story, but I can't say it enough because I know new people all the time come on and listen to these things. And especially for people that should be taking medication. I have to say my disclaimer, take your medication. Get to a non-Scientology doctor. Listen to your parents. Listen to your doctor. These people are very tricky. They're frauds. They're liars. They don't tell the truth. They won't talk to us when we leave, even though my only terminal is the IJC. There is no IJC. all the tech that you can learn in there that you think, well, if they did this and this and this, it would be fine. No, it isn't. They're flat out liars. Okay, Hubbard was a liar. He stole stuff from other philosophies, other philosophers, other religions, other things, repackaged it. I will say that he's very good at repackaging and putting his name on it. That's what he's good at. But other than that, most of the stuff that he came up with that cost thousands and thousands of dollars now, up into the millions, you can get for free in books, in lectures, in the library. It's unbelievable. And it's really good stuff. The good stuff that's good, people always say, well, there must be good stuff. Of course there is. But the good stuff has been around for thousands of years for free. Okay? So remember that. So those are their civil rights abuses, the key ones for me that I'm aware of and I speak out about, and I will keep speaking about, because they are as far from civil rights protectors as one could be. They are the destroyers of civil rights as far as I'm concerned. And they should be held accountable. They're making money. They're not a religion. All they do, think of a triangle, you have to pay for every single thing. I stand outside the testing center and I say it all the time. There's nothing free in Scientology. And you'll see him a couple minutes later holding a book and I'll say, didn't I just tell you there's nothing free in Scientology? And the girl will hand him back the Dianetics book and walk off. I mean, when I'm there, there's nobody that goes in. I mean, maybe once in a while somebody will go in, but most of the time, no, they don't. Because all I have to say is, look, I did it for 30 years. It's a scam. And people just walk on. I say, go look on the internet. You don't have to believe me. Just you people here, don't believe me. Go look on the internet. Do your own research. My favorite line from my dear friend Ladybird, who is passed away, was, Google is your friend. And she said it years before people were using Google. And it's really true. Ask Google. Look it up. Anyway, there you go. I love you guys. I thank you. And I hope, if I don't talk to you before the 14th, remember this weekend is the Anonymous Picket, their 10th anniversary. So anybody in LA, I hope you come. If you come from anywhere at all, come on. We're going to have a picket. We're doing it. And you can send me a private message on Facebook or just come. Come to LA. It's going to be right by Hollywood and Highland, starting around 11 o'clock in the morning. And you're invited. Everyone, you're invited. So I hope you come. And there you go. I love you. Bye-bye.